right, so you had mentioned that your wife and yourself dreamt up the idea of Harvey's at your kitchen table. You want to elaborate on that some?
Well, yeah, it's somewhat of a little bit of a long story. At the time, this was actually the first time that we thought about Harvey's around our kitchen table. Was several years ago, and we kind of kicked it around, and it was pie in the sky kind of thinking. So she has a job here in town, and I was working, like I said earlier, for a large construction company. And then all of a sudden, it became available for me to do something else.
Yeah.
My job, as with all large construction sites, I was laid off, and I had 6 months to kind of figure out what I wanted to do, if I wanted to move on with the construction company to the next job, and that was going to take me out of town. We didn't really want to do that, so Ann Yeager and I decided that we were just going to keep it in our own backyard, and I have been involved in competition barbecue and catering for a very long time, and it was a natural progression for us to just start selling barbecue, and that's what we did. We went down to a corner that we're fortunate enough to own in Junction City, which is 7 miles south of Danville, for those that are not from here. And I set up on the side of the road. I have a really large barbecue. My wife calls it a rig, but it's a big grill. It's got a gas side and a charcoal side. It's built on a 14-foot equipment trailer. I had to buy,
like a rig.
Well, I had to buy a
grill.
truck to pull it. I had to buy a truck to pull it. So it's big, but doing what I do, it's completely functional. And so we pulled it down to our little corner in Junction and just started cooking barbecue, and we sold a lot of it. And that was when kind of the light bulb went off in our head, and we said to ourselves, we might as well keep it in our own backyard. I mean, really do something that we know how to do. And I say we is like the dude says in The Big Lebowski, the royal we. So she and I alone decided that this is something that we wanted to aspire to, and it took us about 6 months to really understand that it was something that we were going to do. And gosh, I can't imagine doing anything else.
Yeah.
So it's really been humbling at times. It's very humbling, but the restaurant business makes you pivot as a business person, and every day's a learning experience for us. But that's really, I mean, my love of cooking came from my dad, which this place is named after, and he really loved barbecue too. So that's where we started, and here we sit.
So when you come to Harvey's, you gotta try the barbecue.
Brisket.
I've had
and
it.
pulled pork.
I've had the brisket.
Yeah, I will say this.
Good.
I will say this, Jennifer. My brisket is fantastic. I will compete with
so tender.
I will compete with anybody in the
Yes.
world on brisket, including everybody that lives in Texas. Probably will lose, but that's okay. That's okay. It will compete. I'm not afraid of it. My pulled pork is world class.
Yeah.
It's as good as you will get anywhere on the planet.
I'll have to try that next time.
Please do. Please do. You won't be disappointed.